Good evening, everyone. My name is Carly Isbell. I am the host of the evening for the Coach DeBesse show. I'd like to go ahead and thank FEEDSTORE BBQ for having us tonight. And thank you all so much for being here also. Hello, Coach. How are you?
Great, Carly. How are you?
I'm great.
Appreciate it.
So that's 3 wins in a row now, 4 overall. How has this team developed and improved since the first game of the season?
Well, I think in a lot of ways they've improved tremendously. It's never been a matter of effort or want to or our hearts being in the right place. We had to learn some things about ourselves early on and go through some things that only you can learn in game. It's hard to replicate in practice. We went through some adversity, obviously, early on, and never really got into a rhythm because, we had that debacle at Argyle where we couldn't play, and then we had the open date. So we finally got into a role where we started playing game after game, and again, as always, all credit to the kids, man. They've hung in there and done a fantastic job and put themselves in a great position.
Well, Friday's game was y'all's second home game win for this season. What was the celebration like after the game?
Well, I can tell you from a defensive standpoint, I know our kids were absolutely exhausted. So there was celebration, there was happiness, but wasn't a lot of physical celebration because they were absolutely drained, literally left it out there on the field. But as always, it was a great locker room after a win. I've said it before, we've got 2 basketball coaches in here that would agree, winning is really, really hard. Winning's extremely difficult. And so no matter what it looks like at the end, if you come out on top, man, you celebrate the son of a gun and celebrate it as long as you can before it's time to focus on somebody else. And I think we did a good job of that.
Well, yeah, OD Wyatt only had 1 touchdown in the first half during Friday's game. But did you see a difference in the Mustangs' defense between the first half and the second half?
I thought we played outstanding defense the entire game. You'll see some highlights later on. OD Wyatt was an extremely good football team, a talented football team, and well-coached football team. The biggest difference in the game was the turnover takeaway battle. We took the ball away 4 times, and we never gave the ball away. So when you have a +4 margin in the turnover takeaway battle, you got a pretty good chance to win. And we were actually 4-1 in our plan to win. The 5 things that we look at every week and we evaluate every week, and actually 4-1. So that's 2 weeks in a row we've been 4-1, and the direct correlation is we won.
Well, that's huge. Thank you for sharing that, and we're looking forward to looking at those highlights later on. But let's go ahead and talk to the DNA Players of the Week, shall we? May I please have Darian Burns and Devin Thomas come up and join me. Hello, y'all. How are we?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Darian, we're going to start with you. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. So you intercepted a pass in the 4th quarter and returned it 53 yards and almost scored a touchdown. Can you walk us through that play for a little bit?
Honestly, it was just great discipline. Just guarding the number 1 on the outside. The ball was underthrown, and I did a good job in coming back to the ball and getting the interception. But honestly, towards the end of that play, when the ref said I was down at the 1, I didn't like that because
I didn't like that either.
I had full effort and full intent to
I
score
saw
the ball, and I was in. I know I was
saw.
in.
You were in. I think we all knew you were in.
The ref just called it at the 1, but I was still glad I got the interception though.
Well, that grapevine knows that it was in, so
yeah.
It counts. It counts. Devin. You made several big tackles during Friday's game, which is huge. What are your post-tackle celebrations like during games?
I got the little stump from Major. Yeah, I kind of took that from him and put that in my bag. And yeah, some celebrations I see on TikTok, and I kind of like it. And then I just try it out, kind of test the waters sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, y'all are making me feel so left out because I didn't get to go to Friday's game. But I watched the whole game. Y'all did amazing, and very proud of y'all. Why do y'all think y'all earned the Fight Award this week?
Kind of had a good game. Fought to the end, first quarter, second quarter, then, yeah.
So on and so
forth. Fought through the whole game.
Darian?
I would say the same thing. I fought to the end and full speed every play, and came out with a good finish with the dub. So yeah.
With the dub. We always love the dubs. Okay, thank y'all so much for joining me. May I please have Tatum Evans come up and join me now, please?
Appreciate it.
Hi, Tatum. Nice to see you again.
It's nice to see you again, too.
So you recovered a fumble in the fourth quarter. Do you know where I'm going with this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can picture where this is going.
You started a little trend there and dunked the football in the trash can on the sidelines. So did you know you were going to get an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, or?
I didn't expect it because I think it was Bradley dunked the ball earlier in the game. And
But they didn't see him do it, or what?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think they did. But hey,
Yeah, was it worth it?
It definitely was
Okay,
worth it.
I think so. It was pretty fun. So do you play any other sports at Grapevine, or is it just football?
It's just football this
It's just
year.
football. You're only a sophomore, though, so do you think you could see yourself playing other sports, or are you just going to stick with it all 4 years?
I'll do track in the spring.
Okay.
So,
Oh, okay. Do you
yeah.
do long distance or short distance?
I'll probably throw.
Oh, like not running.
No, probably not.
Oh, okay. You said track, so I was
Track,
like, I was
yeah.
very confused. Okay. Well.
The field
that's-
part, yeah, I left
Okay,
that out.
that helps. Thank you. Thank you. Why do you think you earned the Tough Award this week?
I think as a defense, we definitely finished in the fourth quarter, and we didn't let them score the second half. That's huge, and toughed it out. I think that's why.
Well,
Yeah.
let's just maybe keep it more discreet next time we decide to make that decision.
Yeah.
Okay, well, congratulations on earning the
Thank
Tough
you.
Award. Thank you for joining me. Can I have Maddox Stanley come up and join me now? Hello, Maddox.
Hi.
You're still playing the linebacker position. I mean, do you miss this position, or are you enjoying being a linebacker?
I think being a linebacker is pretty fun. You see ball, you go get ball. It's pretty simple. There's more like blitzes. You're more in all the contact and all the action, and it's a lot more physical, which I like.
Well, you've earned this award 3 times now. I mean, how does that make you feel, knowing that your coaches and teammates are seeing you thrive on the field?
It makes me feel great knowing that they appreciate me and see my efforts and kind of see that pay off a little too.
Okay, so we're gonna steer another direction now. Do you know what you want to be when you grow up?
I probably want to be an entrepreneur, like a businessman of sorts.
What
My
kind of
dad-
business?
My dad, he's a businessman. He owns a roofing business, so
Okay,
either take over that or start my own thing. But I love everything business. So.
awesome. Well, I'm sure you'll take your positive attitude with that business also. Why do you think you earned the Attitude Award this week?
Probably for my preparation towards the game. I also felt like trash the whole week, but
I'm sorry.
even if you're sick, you still gotta show up. Football's the only thing mandatory in life, so
Okay.
I made sure to be there and give it all I had.
You did not disappoint. You did great. So congratulations, and thank you again for joining me.
Thank you.
May I please have Bryson Davis and Ty Hohenberger come up and join me now? Okay, good evening, fellas. How are we?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you. So, Bryson, you intercepted a pass in the fourth quarter.
Yes, I did.
Do you also know where I'm going with this?
Yes.
I mean, you saw, I guess Bradley, I said Tatum started the trend, but he's saying Bradley started the trend. So you saw them do this, and you saw the consequence that Tatum had, and you still decided to do that. Why?
Well, Coach Branscombe, he bought the trash can. The trash can's name is Tina. And
Okay, I did not know that.
And he wants us to, quote unquote, feed Tina or whatever. So
Okay.
then they did it, and then I did it because it was either listen to Coach Branscombe or just get the penalty.
All right.
I would listen to Coach Branscombe.
Okay. I'm Ty. What do you think some of your personal highlights were from Friday's game?
Probably just stuff in the hole so they couldn't run up the middle. Because if they run up the middle, it's probably my fault, so it's not good.
Of course.
But so yeah, I mean, it was fun whenever me and Devin would get them and just start running them back. So
Uh-huh.
you know, and can I say one thing? I got the fumble. It was not Bradley. He dunked it. I was a little mad, but
But you
know.
got the fumble.
Yes.
There we go. Let's just let that be known. We'll talk to Bradley later. But why do y'all think y'all earned the Compete Award this week?
Just by giving all effort, like laying it all out in the field, like Coach said.
Did you want anything, Bryson?
I think just doing our best that we could to help the team and not giving up at all, even though we both were messing up in the game. Kept going, making up for it.
Yeah, there's always ups and downs with each game, but y'all earned the Compete Award, so y'all should be proud of yourselves, and y'all did great on Friday. So congratulations again, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
May I please have Rondale Carradine come up and join me now.
What's up, Coach?
Hi, Rondale.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. You scored both of the touchdowns on Friday's games. How are we feeling about that?
I mean, I wasn't saying it was necessarily the plan, but I mean, if it happened, it happened, you know?
Right. Well, the first one was 91 yards, and it was returning the kickoff. Can you maybe walk us through that play?
Well, I think I've said this before, but I don't really think that much during plays.
You did. I just wanted to check.
But I mean, we've rehearsed it a lot of times, so the only thing I really think about is catching the ball and then just kind of letting the blockers know that I have the ball, and kind of just following where the hole is opening at.
You found it, and it was big, and you got it, so congratulations. You earned the Family Award this week. Can you maybe tell us a little bit about your family? Do you have any brothers or sisters?
I don't have any brothers and sisters.
I don't either. Okay, it's okay.
And then I wish I did.
I do too, but then sometimes I don't when I see my friends with theirs. And
Yeah, and then my other family, the football team, we have a lot of expressive personalities on the team, as we've seen with the dunking the footballs in the trash cans and stuff like that. So
big trend.
I mean, it's really fun.
That's good. Well, that's sweet. Why do you think you earned the Family Award this week?
Well, there might be a couple. I really don't know, but there might be a couple of different reasons. I had somebody follow me the entire game, basically, covering me.
Okay.
So kind of taking him out of the equation was kind of a big thing. And then also, I'm normally a reserved guy on the field, so I don't really express my emotions that much, but last Friday I did celebrate a lot more than I normally do. So
as you should. Very good. Well, congratulations for earning the Family Award.
Thank
I'm
you.
sure I'll be talking to you soon, and good luck this Friday against Heights. May I please have Bradley Stanier come up and join me now? Bradley, do you want to bounce off of anything that your teammates have said so far?
Ty and I got that fumble at the same time, and he knows it.
I think we'll need to see some footage, Coach. Hopefully that's in the highlights later.
You could see both of us were fighting over the fumble.
Okay. Agree to disagree, maybe? You are the only repeats DNA player this week. How do you feel about that?
I feel pretty special.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice to be here so often and get free food.
It's always a free food. That's said every week, I think. What is your favorite subject in school, and who is your favorite teacher at Grapevine High School?
I like math a lot, so pre-cal's probably my favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And my favorite teacher is Miss Paul.
Is that the math teacher?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, she must be a really good teacher, because that was definitely not my favorite in high school. Why do you think you earned the Discipline Award this week?
I was always hustling to the ball, always trying to make myself a part of the play, and I mean, that was shown in the swarms and assists that I had for tackles this week.
Well, congratulations. You did great. We look forward to seeing you play on Friday at Farrington Fields, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Coach.
Highlight time?
Highlight time.
Okay, I'm going to swing my chair over here.
Sorry. Should I stay here?
One thing, are we good? Can you hear me? Am I still working? Yeah. Sit right there. One thing before we get started on the highlights, I got a little concern. I guess it's a concern tonight, and I might as well express it. We've been showing a lot of highlights all year long, and when I do them, I give a little bit of insight. Try to give a little bit of insight. Carly's a graduate of Arlington Heights.
Yes, I will be wearing my Letterman down Friday.
So I'm not sure if we've given away any secrets this year.
Oh, let's share 'em.
Because I've
I'm ready.
noticed she's been taking notes.
I've
during
got
the
connections.
highlights period. All right, here we go. All right, so this is the opening kickoff. This is Rondell and friends. You don't see very often where you have a kick return where the kick returner does not even get touched. And he absolutely did not get touched right there, okay? So a lot of help from a lot of his friends. Unlike a guy who returned a kick earlier in the year, Rondell beats the kicker here. You know I love you, Bryson. All right, here we go from the end zone, okay? And again, I can't emphasize enough how important getting off to a start like this is against an explosive team like Wyatt, okay? To be able to jump up early on them and take the lead was huge. We put in a new personnel grouping, a new formation. This is Darius Burns, who happens to be here tonight. Everybody give Darius a hand. Darius is here. But this is actually Darius coming from the backfield as a blocker. So he's on the right side there in the backfield. He's the lead blocker here for Rondell on the speed option. Does a heck of a job, fantastic job. And once again, Will Matheny and our receivers, these happens to be our tight end, split out right there blocking, did a fantastic job all night long. Wyatt made it tough for us between the tackles, and so most of our gains were perimeter plays. You're going to see one power play that DeMontrez breaks for a big play, okay? They kind of nickel and dimed us is what they did, and we bent, but we did not break, kind of like the same thing that happened against Southwest. I put this one on purposely because, again, like last week, I want to show you what the defense is up against, okay? This is, first off, take a look at the size of the Wyatt offensive line right there. Oops, sorry. Take a look at the size of the Wyatt offensive line right there. That's some big dudes, right? Ty, they were pretty big, weren't they? Okay. As far as leaning on you. And then watch number 1 right here. Watch how quickly he sticks his foot in the ground and gets vertical. Okay, so there can't be any wasted steps there defensively or else you're going to be beat. Maddox is right there to make the play, and then big right tackle just gets a little bit of piece of him. But I want you to watch Brady Boozer and Bryce. This is Brady Boozer and Darion right here. Watch Brady come from the middle and Darion from the left side. Stand him up. And this was the mark of the defense all night long, again, just like it has been all year long, and that's team defense. Everybody running to the ball. This is a good shot. I'm going to go to the end zone because this is a good shot of Big Ty over the left guard, over number 72. Watch Ty split the double team. See how he splits the double team between the left guard and the center right there, and he's got nowhere to go. Maddox coming off the edge. Bradley Stanyard slanting from the left side to close the hole right there, nowhere to go, but that's Ty really doing a fantastic job of plugging things up. And as he said, that's really his job. Did a great job of it all night, okay? End zone, okay? So this is a different look for us, okay? Here comes Devin Thomas from the left side of the screen, knifing through. See the tight end coming across, kind of cut. Devin does a good job of knifing inside, beating him to the point of attack. Tatum, is that you at the middle linebacker spot? Yeah, okay, so there's Tatum right there. Tatum Evans, again, he plays up, he plays down, just like Leighton Towery does. So, again, really good team defense right there. So it seemed like, you know, they were making yards, and they were making some yards, but they never really ever pocked a huge play on us. We played good team defense, okay? Now, I put this one on here not to make DeMontrez feel bad, but, you know, Harrison Hackbarth had 2 really good throws that unfortunately were dropped. That can make a huge difference as far as the offense's night is concerned. You get into a rhythm when you get an explosive, possibly score, you know, and what have you. So this is a great throw and a great job of Harrison sitting in there in the pocket off of a play action, off a speed option. Anytime we've got Rondell in the backfield there, they've got to respect it. Look at the defense run. Okay, so we call this a switch route. Will Matheny's up the hash, and then DeMontrez releases from the backfield as if he's blocking, then he just runs a pass route. But watch Hack stay in the pocket right there and make a strong throw. So that's too bad. But that happens. All right, here we go with another speed option. Great job of Hack getting the ball off against a defensive end that's on him in a hurry. Really a good job here by Connor Bell. Connor Bell's coming from the backfield. That's not an easy thing to do. See, watch Connor. He's right behind Hack. So he's coming from a stationary position on a speed option. So he's got to get his tail out there to block for Rondell. Does a great job of getting leverage. Okay, Rondell chooses to go inside. And there's Darius again blocking downfield. So Brady Wagner coming from the backfield in motion. Really a well-executed play, and I think this, if I'm not mistaken, this drive ended up in a touchdown. All right, I think it ended up in a field goal now that I look at this one. Okay, so here's how close it is for our offense, right? Okay, our margin for error is not great. This is a read play, right? Okay, this is a read play off the power. So Hack is reading that stand-up guy coming off the left side. Stand-up guy's taking dive, isn't he? Look if Hack pulls that one right there. Okay? So that's the I don't know, it's not a disadvantage, but that's part of it when you run read option football. Sometimes you're going to read it right, sometimes you're not going to read it right. That time we should have pulled the ball. Okay? -2 on the rusher. This is when I knew, I think this is like the beginning of the second half. This is when I knew that we were going to play Mustang ball in the second half, both offensively and defensively. There was nowhere to go right here, again, because of Ty and friends inside. But then the guy tries to bounce outside, and there's no way he can get outside because we've got a hold of him. And really, we bottled up Wyatt's offense pretty good in the second half. Wyatt had several kids that could go, several kids that could beat you. You know, we said Southwest had a couple. Wyatt had about 5 or 6 that could really go, could really hurt you. Okay, this is Devin again. Okay, I want to go to the end zone here. Watch Devin from, again, the left side of the screen. He engages and he disengages. Watch him throw the right tackle aside. I know that's not easy to do. That guy weighs quite a bit right there. Okay. Throws him aside, Leighton stepping up, giving him nowhere to go. Okay, great job of hanging on right there. And then there's Ryan Hamilton coming in for the finish. Again, look at all the blue shirts running to the ball. That wins football games. That's also what creates 4 takeaways when you run to the football like that. All right, now, not a good play. Okay, but I show this for a reason, and the guys know exactly why I'm showing it. They know exactly why I'm showing it. Okay, whoever this is right here should have wrapped him up. Whoever it is should have wrapped him up. Okay, we got to tackle that guy. We can't just try to knock him down. Okay, so that guy does free. Give him credit. Now watch all the blue shirts, and in particular, watch the guy that tried to knock him down. Okay, that guy is closing on him. Guy cuts him side, and then ultimately he ends up with Darion making the play. Okay, so that's great hustle. Okay, that's great finish. That's great hustle. Once again, that wins football games. Okay, they did not get the ball in the end zone. They could have on that particular play had our kids not continued to hustle. And the result is the very next play, we get a fumble. Okay, so had we not had that effort by those 2 guys to get him down, we would never have had the argument between Ty and Bradley here on the fumble. So at any rate, the good guys get it. Okay, you guys can try to solve the argument here. I can't tell anything. You guys can try to solve the argument right there. That's a lot of blue right there is what that is. Okay, so I kept these on here. So you could see them. If you did not see them Friday night, okay, where's Tina? There's Tina. Here comes Tina from down the bottom. There's Tina. Okay. And we get, where are we? Gotta watch this again. Boom. All right. All right, huge. Hack just threw another one that unfortunately we didn't connect with down there inside the 10-yard line. Then he comes back on 3rd down, 3rd and 8, and makes a great throw to Will Matheny right here. Will runs a great route. I thought Will was going to break this in game and go ahead and go score. But at any rate, sets us up offensively in good position. The quarter flips. We get down to the goal line. We run triple option. We pitch it to a fast guy. And as I told you guys earlier in the year, us coaches all look a lot smarter when we have fast guys, okay? And there's a fast guy making a big play with a lot of help. So good job of Hack getting it out. Good job of Brady. Good job of Will. And that gave us a little bit of breathing room right there as far as the game was concerned, okay? Now all of a sudden they got to start doing something they don't want to do, and that's throw the football. And here's Darian's play, and Darian described it perfectly, okay? He stayed with number 1. He saw that the ball was underthrown. He came back and made a play. And again, watch all the help he's getting from his buddies right here. He says he scored. Let's see what y'all think.
It's
What do you
in.
think?
It's in.
Huh? Let's go to the end zone here and see if you think he scored. For those of y'all who are Texas A&M fans, number 22, if you remember a guy named Jaworski Lane, running back, that's Jaworski's son right there, number 22. I actually coached Jaworski when I was at A&M. All right, let's see if Darian scores. What do you think? Ooh!
That's in.
Except there's one problem, Darian. Ground caused it? Okay. Tonight we'll say the ground caused it. All right, here we go again. Same guy that ran down the big 3rd down conversion, all of a sudden right there gets a strip. Okay, and that's something that's taught, that's something that's worked on. Every defense in America works on that. That's called a rip right there. That's called a rip right there, rip and strip right there. And the good guys get on the ball. Okay, and here we go again. Who gets this one? This is, look at this. Boom. All right, so the deal was, and I didn't understand it after the first one, that was Wyatt's football. In other words, physically, that was Wyatt's football. You provide your own footballs in game. So that was Wyatt's football. So the officials said it was unsportsmanlike conduct for us to take Wyatt's football to our sideline. I didn't get real upset about it. I promise you. Okay, and here comes our last pick, our last interception. That's Bryson again with the pick. So he had a fumble strip, and he also has a pick. Now, somebody in the audience who'll be the grand prize winner. There are about 2 minutes, maybe less than 2 minutes in the game. What should Bryson do? Sit down, fall down, fall down, fall down. The reason we should fall down is so we don't take the risk of fumbling the ball, okay? All right, let's watch Bryson here. Now this is, I believe, between the legs. Yes! We got a little between the legs dunk there. Nice. Hey, that's pretty appropriate. We got basketball here tonight.
Yeah.
Huh? And that's it. So give these guys a round of applause, man. They did a hell of a job.
Thank you, Coach, for sharing that with us. Okay, may I please have Coach Siebert and his players come up and join me, please. Yeah, there we go. Here's your mic. Good evening, Coach. Thank y'all so much for coming tonight. Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and who you've brought with you today?
Sure. I'm Coach Siebert, Michael Siebert, head boys basketball coach at Grapevine. And beside me here, we've got Matthew Woodcock and David Coe.
Well, thank you so much for being here again. Coach, can you please explain how this year's team is different from last year's team?
Sure. We had a very successful group last year, a very young group, not a lot of experience, and really found a way to win games kind of rough and tumble. We would out-rebound, we'd dive on the floor, we'd just kind of grit and grind our way to a lot of wins last year. I feel like this year's team, we are more experienced. These two guys beside me kind of went through the ringer last year with all of that, and they're back, and they're better leaders, they're better basketball players, and guiding some of the new guys along with them. I believe our chemistry is really, really good this year. I believe we have guys that are ready to fill roles. I think we've got more shooting than what we had last year, which is never a bad thing when we're playing basketball. Able to stretch the floor a little bit more. But no, I'm excited about the group. Every year's a little bit different.
Well, what are your expectations for this season?
A lot of wins. Got to win games. We're coming off of a couple of back-to-back 20-win seasons, a couple of back-to-back area round playoff runs, and we want to get deeper in the playoffs than what we've done. We're looking to get a district championship, make a run in the playoffs, because that's what makes it fun. I mean, we tell these guys winning is fun. Basketball's supposed to be fun, but winning is fun. And so we put in the work so that we can have that fun on that end doing those things.
Well, if you're okay with it, I'm going to talk to your players for a little bit now.
Certainly.
Matthew, it's Matthew, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that I'm very glad this is a sit-down interview because you are a nice 2 feet taller than me. So I'm just wanted to point that out. Anyway, I heard that you just got recognized for being a National Merit Qualifier. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about that?
It was, I just kind of stayed late after school every day for a few hours and studied a lot. And played basketball, but studied a lot too. That was the main reason.
Well, that's awesome. What position do you play? And what grade are you in?
I'm a senior, and I'm a center. So.
Okay, perfect. And then it's David.
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Nice to meet you. So what position do you play and what grade are you in?
I'm a point guard, and I'm a sophomore.
So Coach told me that you were head point guard as a freshman last year, which is huge. Do you feel like there's a lot of pressure on you this year or anything? Or
I wouldn't say pressure. I feel like it's a lot of responsibility, but I'm ready for it, and I put the work in. So I just got to trust the work.
Of course. That's really exciting. Thank y'all again so much for joining me, and good luck this season.
Thank you.
Another round of applause for them. I'd like to ask Coach Garoutte and her players to come and join me now, please. There you go. Okay, Coach Garoutte, hello. Thank y'all so much for being here tonight.
Thank you for having us.
Would you like to introduce yourself and who you brought with you?
Absolutely. I am Coach Garoutte. This is Noma Obanabo and Sailor Hawkinjoss.
Noma and Sailor, thank y'all so much for being here. Okay, so can you tell me a little bit about your senior leadership this year?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, anytime you have 7 seniors, which is what we have, that's a huge impact for your program. And I think they've done an amazing job. They've really come into a whole new system. Obviously, being my first year, we brought all new things to them, and they really adopted everything and ran with it and set the tone for the underclassmen.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. What are your expectations for this season?
Well, we wins as well, obviously, but we got together and set some team goals, and I can tell you they're pretty lofty goals. But every practice they're working hard for those goals. But I think they're gonna do some things that Grapevine Lady Mustangs basketball hasn't done in a while. So I'm super excited.
We're all excited.
Yes.
Do you mind if I talk to your players
Absolutely.
now for a little bit? Okay, so do you mind saying what grade you're in, the position you play, real quick?
Okay, I'm a senior and I play center.
Okay, and then what are you most excited about for this season?
For this season, I'm most excited about seeing our work translate on the court because we've been doing a lot of tough stuff in preseason, and we're doing a lot of new stuff as well, especially with Coach G. So I'm excited to see our chemistry and how we relay everything on the court.
Well, that's very exciting. Sailor, do you want to say your position and the grade you're in?
I'm a senior and I'm a guard.
Okay, and do you want to explain how the team chemistry is this year?
Yeah, so with being 7 seniors, there's a lot of like friendships that have been developed over the years, but I think we also have 3 freshmen on the team, so there's been a lot of team bonding, and we've been doing like big little assists and hanging out outside of practice, and I think also those like early weight room trips we've been making for preseason has helped us bond more as a team, and that chemistry helps translate onto the court as we're a lot more successful now than we have been last year, and so I feel like this season we can expect bigger things, so yeah.
Well, it sounds like a very good team you have there, Coach Garoutte. Thank y'all so much for joining me again, and we're looking forward to seeing y'all this season. Thank you.
Things are fixing to get busy at Grapevine with basketball starting. Cross-country girls, I don't know if y'all heard, but cross-country girls qualified for state today, okay? Which is a great thing. Michael's got a lot to build on with his men's basketball team, and Mike has got a lot of enthusiasm to build on with the new, so we're fired up to see them play. Now, for everybody in here, between basketball and football, does Grapevine have great kids or what? I mean, seriously. And for those of you interested in baseball, I can see the score right now. I'm not going to tell you, though. Go ahead.
Oh, I thought you were. I was like, okay.
No.
Okay. Well, let's talk about Heights.
Let's talk about Heights.
If you're comfortable, I guess.
Yeah.
So Grapevine and Heights are both 4-1 in districts, 1 game behind Colleyville. Can you talk about the magnitude of this game and the importance of staying in second place and how this game could affect the season as a whole?
Yeah, you know, we've talked for weeks about how we seem to be playing the Fort Worth teams in ascending order as far as quality is concerned. And I think that's exactly the way it's played out. They're 6-2 on the season, 4-1 in district, as you said, with their only loss to Colleyville, just like us. They lost to Colleyville by 1 less point than we did. They beat Wyatt 20-6. We beat Wyatt 20-7. So it shapes up to be a really, really even match. It's a huge game for both teams, and both teams' motivation is exactly the same, and that is we're both playing for a share of the district championship. We can only control what we can control, but there's a shot. You know, there's a shot that the leader can get beat before the season's over. It's playing for second place for sure, and it's playing for playoff seeding. And obviously, we'll talk about that down the road, but we will be in the playoffs, and this will have a huge impact on what our playoff seeding is. But more than all that, I mean, honest to God, more than all that, it's just about our team continuing to get better, because I think we've got a lot of football in front of us, and I think we're playing decent football right now, and I think we've got some things we can build on, and I think these guys are continuing to improve and want to continue to play. So it's a huge ball game. To me, we're the underdog because it's kind of even, but we're on the road. You know, they're the home team, so I like being the underdog, and I like the way our kids play when we're the underdog.
Well, y'all's numbers are definitely close, so I agree with you about that. This hurts me to say, but last year y'all did beat them 28-7. What do you do to keep the Mustangs focused and not expect the same result for this year?
I don't have to do anything to keep the Mustangs focused. I mean, we've got great leadership, and they do a great job of staying grounded and staying focused. I think the thing that you got to give Arlington Heights credit for is this is 2 years in a row that they have been in the thick of the district race this late in the season. You know, last year that game was for the district championship. And so we got a lot on the line again this year. So, you know, a little different program than what we've played the last few weeks, a little bit more physical, a little bit more close to the vest, a little more football in the phone booth, and like to come downhill and attack you. So a little bit different style, but we'll be up for it.
Well, I'll be on the sideline with y'all, don't worry, but I will be.
In Grapevine gear?
I'll have a Grapevine shirt, and then my Letterman. I think it's supposed to be cold, so
Okay.
I have to have a jacket, right? I mean,
You have to have a jacket.
I can't help which jacket
No.
I choose. One last question for tonight. We won't say the score.
No.
But are you rooting for the Rangers or the Astros?
That's a hard one because I grew up in Houston. I actually probably one of the few people in this room who actually watched the Astros in the Astrodome. You watched them in the Astrodome? You watched them in the Astrodome? Okay. Maybe my all-time favorite athlete is Nolan Ryan. Right? Played for both the Astros and the Rangers. I love both managers. They're both old school. I love both managers. But I'm for the Rangers.
Okay, good. That's what I was. There it is. There it is. Okay.
And I'm living dangerously because Mrs. Powers is to my left. And she's got a knife and fork by her.
Okay, well, thank you all so much for joining me. Let's go ahead, let's go ahead and give another round of applause for FEEDSTORE Barbecue for hosting us tonight. I'd like to thank our production team, Chris Wymore, Davis Burke, and the Grapevine Mustang Football Booster Club. Thank you again, both girls and boys basketball teams for being here, and coaches. We appreciate it a lot. I will see y'all on Friday at Farrington Fields versus Heights. Sting 'em, but also go Mustangs. And thank you all so much for being here. I'm Carly Isbell. Good night.